Will Jung Kook join Usher on stage at his Super Bowl halftime show? Ariana Grande, Lil Nas X, and more release music. Kelly Uchis talks pregnancy and her hot new album. We look at the rise of ITZY. And Cornejo is the future of regional Mexican music. Welcome to another edition of Billboard News. I'm Tetris Kelly. It's Friday, January 12th, and we got a brand new cover star. But first, let's get into our Friday music guide. We've entered a new era. Ariana Grande is back and she's saying yes and this self-empowering bop is definitely not safe for work.
Why do you care so much? Who's that right? Why?
We'll have more new music throughout the show. But now it's time to get to our last future of genre cover star. Cornejo is the future of regional Mexican music.
Around the time that Tercer Elemento was dropping music, Rafa Caro, I remember I heard that. And it stood out to me so much. I think that I was just I actually like this. At the time, I wouldn't really listen to regional music. It was more of my dad's mariachi music and the old school stuff. A couple years later, Natanael Cano drops, corridos tumbados. He's definitely a pioneer for this new genre that you call serreño and corridos tumbados. So many people got inspiration from Nata. He really took a big step and just changed the whole corridos. I feel a lot of people just adapted to that quickly. I do get some surprise sometimes when, for example, in my shows, I do meet and greets, and after the shows, sometimes even the moms are crying and telling me how happy they are to have brought their daughter, and it's a great feeling when you just see the mom and the daughter crying. It's heartwarming just hearing everybody's stories, and it made me realize how much power you have towards your supporters, and just that motivates me more to keep doing what I'm doing. They're all my mini judges, and I want to make sure I make them proud. Every time I drop an album, there's something that feels bigger than the one before, and I think this album's definitely gonna feel bigger, and just I feel like a musician after a year. There's improvements and little things, even musically and lyrically, and the sound is just gonna be a lot better. It's definitely exciting that the charts are literally full of Mexican artists. Yeah, I'm excited for the next year to drop the album and be a part of those charts.
For the full cover profile, head to Billboard.com. Lil Nas X is no stranger to pushing boundaries, and his latest track, J. Christ, is no different. He brings all the religious and pop culture references in the music video.
I'm finna get the gays hype. I'm finna take it gay hype. Back up out the grave site. Jump back like J. Christ.
We always bring you the latest in music news, and here's our top story.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out. A-Town down.
Usher, Jung Kook, J Balvin, and LeBron? A teaser for Usher's halftime show has dropped, and he has all the biggest talent by his side. We are so ready for Usher to take the stage at this year's Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show. And the teaser he dropped this morning is mind-blowing. Army lost it to see Jung Kook. Let's not forget JK has sang about LeBron James.
Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of LeBron.
Of course, I had to play that. LeBron and J Balvin are also in the ad. The spot takes you through Usher's iconic career, all before this year's game on February 11th. As he gets ready to release his upcoming 9th studio album, Coming Home, on February 9th. The big game will air live on CBS. 21 Savage is back, this time with some solo music, and he's living the American dream.
Red rum, red rum, red rum, red rum, red rum. G-Block, all we know is red rum.
But the new album also has some impressive features like NHIE with Doja Cat.
I would never try, I would
Speaking of new music, Uchis' fourth album is here, and she stopped by our studio to tell us all about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So excited for you. How have you been keeping this a secret? What's been the hardest part of that?
I had to do some shows, and I was on a Times list, so I had to do a red carpet. That was really hard.
And then when the time does come, what are you most excited for about being a mom?
I don't know. It's so much to be excited for, honestly, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say just one thing.
You won't know until it happens.
Yeah, exactly. The flower for me, it always symbolized timelessness, femininity, luxury. It has an eerie, mystical quality about it as well. And it's also the national flower of Colombia. So for me, it all tied in. And then I didn't find out that I was pregnant until later in my rollout, but actually it's also the flower of fertility. So it actually all came together perfectly. Being that I'm Latina and I'm in music, you kind of get categorized as a Latin artist even when, you know, not all of the music that I do is technically Latin music. Yeah, exactly. So realizing that it's, in a way, people view it as its own genre when really, like how I was saying earlier, there's so many different genres that have to do with Latin music in the first place. There's so much different types of music you can make. Or in my case, where I don't only make music in Spanish, I also make a lot of music in English and a lot of different genres in English as well. So I think that in a way it can be a bit limiting because of that. So for me, definitely part of what I want to do and accomplish with my work is expand the way that people view all of the things that we're capable of doing.
For the full interview, head over to Billboard.com. Kid Cudi took a little break from battling online trolls to release some new beats. Here's INSANO.
Back. I ain't even worried, get no trouble till you hear them. Look the stars, no cap, once you hit them, I give them what I bleed for the pen, yeah, hear them.
He recruited some of the biggest rappers on this album like Travis Scott and A$AP Rocky. Time to talk about ITZY. They just dropped their new album, Born to Be, and if you don't know much about them, well, don't worry, we've got you covered. ITZY is no stranger to the Billboard charts. The K-pop girl group first charted back in 2019 and since then have racked up multiple entries across different charts. And with the release of their new album Born to Be, it's just the beginning. This is Billboard Explains the rise of ITZY. Since ITZY made their mark on the music scene, the girl group has appeared on a bunch of different Billboard charts, including the Billboard 200, thanks to albums like Crazy in Love, the first album, which peaked at number 11 and featured the track Loco. And Checkmate mini album, which peaked at number 8. That same EP also debuted at number 1 on the World Albums chart, taking the top spot for a week in July 2022. Other notable chart highlights include 4 songs on the Global 200, including In the Morning, which peaked at number 34. 10 songs on the World Digital Song Sales chart, including Dollar Dollar. And 5 songs on the Global 200 excluding US chart, including Not Shy, which reached number 70 in September 2020. It's clear that ITZY knows how to make a Billboard chart hit, and we can't wait to see where Born to Be takes them next. That's it for the news. Come back next week for our interviews with Don Omar and Julia Michaels. But before you go, there's one more entry in our Friday Music Guide. Jhené Aiko became a mom over a year ago, and she's sharing a beautiful tribute to her baby with Son.
Is it the way